Good morning. I'm Katie Dutcher from Flourish and Bloom and Monterey Bay Meditation Studio. And I titled today's message, Meditation is for You. And what this kind of refers to is how hmm, there's a lot of people out there, maybe you're one of them, maybe you're not, who have this sense, whether they say it in this way or whether maybe it's just some thought that's going on in the back of their head, this sense that maybe maybe they're not cut out for meditation. Like maybe it's really easy and natural for some people, but it's harder for them, or that they're not quite cut out for it, they're not quite a natural at it. I'm saying this because I hear this a lot. I hear from people who maybe have been actually meditating for a little while, or maybe people who have heard of meditation and they think that it sounds pretty intimidating, or that it sounds like it has to be a certain way. And the reason I want to address this is because I feel like that thought is it's one of the most common, and it's one of the biggest things that actually gets in the way of practicing meditation and practicing mindfulness, and actually feeling the benefits of it rather than feeling somehow bad about yourself, or feeling like maybe you didn't do it right, or something like that. So I'll start by talking a little bit about I think what the mind shift is here, or what the kind of the problem is. I think part of it is that there is a misconception about what meditation is, or what it's supposed to be like, and that is the core of it right there. That it is supposed to be like anything, right? So um, this idea that somehow we'll close our eyes, and then that every day we will just move into this experience of maybe complete peace or bliss or calm, that every thought that is going on in our wonderful complex human brain, and every emotion that's coming up out of our heart that is, again, complicated and multifaceted, that somehow all of this that makes us human and so interesting and unique, we will just shut off and kind of throw away for those moments of meditation, and it will just sink into um, this kind of nothing state, or blank slate, for however long we've decided to do that. And then that we come out of it feeling like a new person, or something like that. So when I say it like that, I'm kind of exaggerating, but that is moving toward the image that some people have of meditation. And so if you think of it that way, and if you think that it is supposed to be that way um, every time, then it makes sense that, for one, we might shy away from it. We might think, well, that sounds daunting, to have this perfect blissed out experience. I'm not sure if I can do that. So it sounds intimidating. And then it also, if we are holding this as some kind of ideal that it is supposed to be this way, then that means that almost every time that we do sit down and meditate, and it isn't exactly like that, it's different, um, then we get that feeling of, maybe there's something wrong here. Maybe I've done something wrong, or maybe this doesn't work for me, or something like that. So you can see why that kind of expectation really, it doesn't help us, right? So let's go back then. So back to this assumption that it's supposed to be any certain way. When we sit down and meditate, or lie down and meditate, we are usually just being quiet, or sometimes, listening to a guided meditation, but always there's quiet in the midst of it. And it is natural that when we open a space of quiet, um, of not bringing in a lot of input, it's natural that the brain starts producing its own input. The thoughts come through that maybe didn't have time to come through before. Or maybe that thought's been running through your head all day and you didn't have time to notice it. And now, because nothing else is going on, it seems really clear, or it seems really disturbing, or whatever it's like. So it's natural that we kind of, it's like you open the window and then all of a sudden you're seeing what comes by, or you're seeing maybe something come in. And excuse me. So the idea is not to block out or to think it's wrong for any of these things to come through, but simply that you're allowing yourself space to experience it, to let it be. And I think it's important to say that for many of us, if we would describe ourselves as busy or sometimes stressed out, we are often not getting moments of quiet during the day, or of allowing kind of the mind and heart to catch up, right? Because a lot goes on and we don't have time to process it. So it is actually a great thing to sit down, and even if that's all that happens, that just it's the mind processing its way through certain things, even if it doesn't feel that pleasant, it I would argue it's still a really helpful um, way of being to allow this to move through whatever needs to move through thoughts, emotions, feeling, sensations in the body. And it can also be really helpful information to see, oh, these are the kinds of thoughts that I'm having right now, or this is how my body's feeling right now. Just to know that and to be aware of it, and then perhaps to respond if something is needed. So so that is why it doesn't quite that doesn't help us, that it isn't really accurate to think that it's supposed to be a certain way. The other thing is, if you think about really anything that you do, let's say you eat breakfast every day, is that even the same every day? Even if you're eating the same thing every day, um, today the egg might be firmer than yesterday. It just happens. Or yesterday when you were eating your breakfast, you felt calm and a little excited for the day, but today you feel a little worried, right? That eating breakfast time, you wouldn't expect it to be the same every day, because you know that today is a new day. There's different things going on, um, and it isn't always a lockstep thing. We don't expect that of our breakfast. Why would we expect that of these moments of meditation, that they would be the same every day? It so much depends on just a million little variables. So the best thing that we can do is let it be. Let it be, let ourselves be, and just take this as time to 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 rest from bringing in information via conversation or technology or anything like that. Just clearing an open space and then just seeing what happens. This is a gift. I really feel like this is a gift that we can give ourselves, is allowing at least this small space of no need for expectation, no need to feel like we have to do it right or wrong, or pass or fail. There's enough of that in our lives, right? There's enough of needing to measure up or needing something to be a certain way, that maybe part of our practice, for sure, actually, part of our practice is allowing ourselves to just be, allowing this moment to just be. And that brings in all these different qualities that we talk about when we cultivate mindfulness: um, curiosity, openness, acceptance, non-judgment, that really, those are qualities that then help us to operate in the rest of our lives in the world. And so I would like to take a little time to meditate, because we can. It's for you. It's for me. And so let yourself get to a comfortable position. And with this meditation, I invite you to practice this no expectation. So, and that it doesn't really have to be perfect. There's no perfect here. So wherever you're sitting is a great place to sit. Or whether you're lying down, maybe you're even standing up. Find a comfortable spot wherever you are. And if you'd like to let your eyes close, let your eyes close, or just looking down. Then start by just listening to the sound of the bell. If it's helpful, perhaps meditation isn't even the word that needs to be used here. Maybe you can simply think of this as just sitting here. I'm just sitting here for a time. And gently reminding yourself there's nowhere you need to go. There's nothing you have to do. There's nothing to try. Exhaling, if possible, into a sense of ease. Let this be the moment of your day when nothing is required of you. Throughout this meditation, mind will wander. Sounds will draw your attention. Emotions will arise, thoughts. As a complete and complex human being, many things will occur in the mind and heart, in the body, and all of this is natural. All of this is as it should be. It is as it is. And so, as you notice what is occurring, you can just do simply that. Just notice, just experience. Ah, this is my human mind thinking. Ah, here is a sense of anxiety. Here is a sense of happiness. Just noticing it as it goes by. Recognizing that all of this is meditation. All of this is part of your meditation. Simply to be here with whatever is occurring around and within you. If it feels right, bringing attention gently to the sensations of your breath. Tuning into sensations, perhaps at the nostrils or feeling the rise and fall throughout the chest or the belly. Just wherever you can sense that movement of the breath, resting attention here. Perhaps enjoying this moment, the simplicity, how you don't have to make something happen here. The breath is already flowing, and you don't have to change it. It's happening in its own time, in its own way, and it's perfect. Noting the quality of your attention here. Is it possible to be with the breath with kind of a gentle touch, with lightness? Just tuning in, no need to force or to really put in a lot of effort. When the mind drifts, no worries. You know the way back. It's right here. And it will continue to be here, this breath, no matter how many times. Simply finding your way back. In a moment, I'll ring the bell. And perhaps just taking these final moments, if you like, to check in, sense how your body's feeling. To sense your emotional and mental qualities in this moment. And then simply offering a thank you to yourself. Thank you for pausing, for being present. being gentle and kind with yourself. Thanks for being here. I'm just letting you know, you may already know this, but whatever happened in that space of time, whatever happened, noises in your place where you're living or where you're sitting, whatever happened inside your mind, nobody did it wrong. Nobody did it right. Nobody, that right and wrong thing just doesn't apply. I didn't do it better than you. You didn't do it better than anyone else or worse. That's again this no judgment, letting it be how it is. So there's no chance, even if it didn't feel right, even if you felt anxious or restless the whole way through, it just is what it is. And you did it. You sat here and you offered that space to yourself. Whatever arises just arises. So reminding yourself of that if you need to hear it. And if you are just starting with meditation, I have on my website there's kind of a banner across the top, and there's a link to a free guide that I created that gives some easy instruction about how to start. But if you've been listening to this, this is also a good instruction of how to start, because mainly starting with not a lot of attachment to outcome or to judgment is a beautiful way of kind of not getting in your own way. So I'm wishing you a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next week.